It's the first time in history 29 Grand Slam title winners will meet on a court. No surprise then, it's Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal who will lock horns for the 31st time in their career. Nighttime tennis in North America does not get any better. And if you can't get yourself excited about this, well, you're pretty hard to please. The Rolling Stones have got it spot on. It's time to get started.
First set. Rafael Nadal to serve.
He's been the hottest player on tour this year as Rafael Nadal. Once more, he'll be looking to take on his great friend and foe. Ashley Fisher alongside me, Rob Koenig. Fasten your seatbelt, folks. This could be a bumpy ride.
From the word go, Federer needs to camp out, particularly on that ad side, and not let Nadal beat him with that swinging wide serve. He's got to take that away, challenge Rafa to serve up the tee. And we talked about Roger just playing because he loves tennis, and nobody enjoys being part of the ATP World Tour more than this man. He's got nothing to prove. He's won everything. Statistically, he's still the leader, the GOAT, as people like to refer him. So he needs just to loosen up and enjoy this match.
Ball 15. Game, Nadal.
Simple but effective. Nadal to a good start. We were speaking about the patterns of play that he loves, but especially so when stepping up to the line to hit a serve, Ashley.
Yeah, and I said last night, if I'm Paul Anaco and I'm just getting a lefty to go out there and serve and have Roger hit backhand returns, and this is why. Look at the yellow dots. Nadal is just peppering away at the Federer backhand return. All hard-court matches, not many red dots there. Particularly on the deuce court.
And those red balls, every now and then he does throw in the variation up the middle, but he tends to do it when he's break point down. And he's so good at just sowing that seed of doubt every now and then. But I'm with you, Federer's got to look for his backhand all day long.
Ding out. Mr. Nadal has 2 challenges remaining.
That's the shot that's going to have to work big time for him tonight.
Talked about that's just a poor miss from Federer. We talked about him needing to prepare for the backhand swinging serve. Just this is a shot that Roger typically hits better than anyone. You see the contact point way out in front of him. He was just one step short. Roger has flown left-handed opponents into Dubai for training weeks. He's been doing it for years. Jesse Levine, very good player, has gone out and spent weeks and weeks giving Roger that lefty swing serve, hoping to simulate Nadal's.
Just Jim Courier courtside there. These guys are so good at making space, executing their forehands. I mean, you think he's going to be cramped, but somehow he's able to get around and just execute with power as well. Mirka Polanico and Stefan Vivier, right to left. How much mental scarring will Federer have after that loss that he suffered in Rome? Or was it pretty much insignificant because of the surface?
Well, I feel like there's a lot of mental scarring there, but it's just been there for years and years, and Rome didn't do a whole lot more to add to it. I'll go out on a limb by saying I don't feel like Roger will ever beat Nadal again on the clay court. But this is a matchup on a hard court. Roger's still capable of troubling Rafa and beating him. That's the shot that goes on him. It's his biggest weapon, but it's also where the majority of errors come when he's not playing well. 6 unforced errors already. We're not even through the second game, and the concern is just by how much that ball missed by 1.5 meters.
Showed a bit more variety early on.
Well, he can just do so much with it. It's such a safe shot, so much margin for error. Rob, you've talked about this. It's aggressive, but to a safe target. That ball was nowhere near missing.
Yeah, I love that mantra. In fact, it was Miles McClagan who was the first one to word it like that. And of course, Miles has worked with a fair few players, worked with Andy Murray. Marcus Baghdatis. He's now working with Laura Robson on the women's tour. And I think it's such a nice phrase to have. You can use it in so many sports. Tough opening service game. Almost 6 minutes, but he got there in the end.
And you referenced the Rome final. If I'm Anna Cohen, I would have dug up some old DVDs, perhaps, of the World Tour finals a couple of years ago, where Roger beat Nadal 3-love, and I would have had Roger watch one of those matches so he can develop sort of a positive association with this rivalry, because it hasn't gone his way. He's just won 10 out of 30. But perhaps if he watched that match in London, he'd think, I can beat this guy. I remember beating this guy pretty comfortably not so long ago on a somewhat similar surface, at least not clay. Because at the same time, I've said Federer has nothing to lose and he's got to relax and just enjoy this, but he is the defending champion. You've also got to instill that self-belief that, hey, if you play well, this is a guy that you can and arguably should beat on a hard court. If you can get back to that level that we saw not so long ago.
I think the key, though, I wouldn't really compare World Tour finals and a clay court, because the big thing in London is that the court is low bouncing, and that helps Roger so much, especially with that backhand. You know, he can hit it hip height as opposed to shoulder height, where it's so much tougher for us single-handers to control.
Yeah, it's a slower court. It's a bit of a misconception. People think that Nadal wants a slower court, but he actually relies a lot on what the ball does when it hits the court, when it explodes off. He wants a fast, lively clay court, hard court. Roger's so good at just generating his own pace. He doesn't need anything from the surface to add to his shots.
Mixing things up beautifully. So, you know, a fair few ground strokes already go to the Federer forehand. And when he's playing ahead in the game like this, he does tend to do it occasionally. It's the moment things get tight, boom, goes back to his default setting. It's a much better return of serve. You could see Federer leaning over to his left, expecting it. You should give these guys time on the ball. They're able to do something meaningful with it more often than not.
This is what Federer just has to lean left. He cannot be beaten by a Nadal swinging serve to the backhand. Unacceptable.
Break point Federer.
That's the problem with this matchup. Rafa gets to hit his favourite shot even after hitting an 87-mile-an-hour second serve.
Roger's almost got to hit that backhand cross court, I think, to the forehand. Try and rush Nadal somewhat. That's what Djokovic does so well. Of course, he's got the bonus of having two hands.
But it's just about, at the start of the match, saying, I'm okay not converting break points, but I want it to be on my terms. If I'm going to lose a break points because I miss a forehand, not because Rafa hits a second serve and then a forehand.